Yo, what is up, guys? Grobs with a little quick update. We've been asked a lot of questions about what to do next after the full build guide for the Poison Pathfinder. How do you min-max? How do you get more damage? How do you get more defensives? So I thought I would just quickly outline a couple of little things you can aim for. I've done everything in the game except the Pinnacle because I haven't found all the towers, but we've done all the maps. We've upped our maps like with the irradiated mods to higher eye level. Build feels really smooth. Yeah, it's not the fastest build in the game, but DPS is more than good enough for us to kill bosses in 5 or so seconds. It's pretty chill. But if you want to push it further than I did, and I have moved to another character just for now, there's a few things you can do. So first things, jewels. Jewels are absolutely massive for this build. They scale our damage multiplicatively, but there's a few little thresholds we have to meet. So obviously Quivers are massive for this build, especially ones with plus level of projectile skills. They can roll higher than this. Mine's only a +1. I didn't feel the need for more, but you can get +2, which could become a +4 if we grab 80% of Quiver effect here. And I'm just going to make sure you realize how important this is. We need 20% more to double that mod on our Quiver. So the way to get that is on jewels. I didn't do this, by the way, because it's very expensive. And like I said, my build, don't use mine as an example. I got all the content down I wanted to with this build and farm currency. But jewels can roll increased bonuses gained from Quivers. They can roll from, I think, 5% up to 15, or maybe it's 20, but it doesn't matter. We need 20% more, whether that's on 1 jewel, 2 jewel, 3 jewel, doesn't matter. Try get that. It is expensive, but try get Quiver bonus and magnitude. Because the second best lines for us is magnitude of elements and magnitude of poisons. It's the same thing for our build. If you get those 3 modifiers, so you get up to 100% Quiver and then you get lots of magnitude, your damage skyrockets. Next part, dual string bow. It's still the best bow. Chaos bow is okay for damage, but dual string is the best. You want massive flat damage, fire, cold, lightning. Ideally, you also have plus of skills. And then you have additional arrow. I only have 1 arrow because this bow just did a lot of damage. It's got a lot of flat, but you want 2 arrows, flat damages, and ideally you want plus to skills. Just scales our damage even more. Quiver, same thing. You want plus of levels, flat damages. Bow damage is not bad. I actually had a Quiver that just has % bow damage. It's not bad, but flat damage and plus proj always wins out. After that, it's just bonuses. Get dex, get crit. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Attack speed's kind of nice just for the feeling. We don't need attack speed for damage, but it feels good. We move on to the rings. Now, I still think the Ming's Heart is great as a budget ring to scale our damage even more. And then obviously a rare ring with flat damage and some resistances. But I didn't know early in the game what breach rings are going to be like. Now, these are all bad, but I'm just demonstrating what they can do. Breach rings can have a maximum quality of 50%. You can use catalysts to modify them up to 50% and scale a certain modifier on them. So for example, if we want to scale, if there were any fire modifiers on one of these rings, there we go. I could use this. I could scale it up to 50% and it will take that fire modifier up from 7 to whatever. You could do that with flat damages. You could do it with attributes. You can do it with whatever. So breach rings are actually really, really strong. Try get breach rings with flat damage. Once again, we want as much flat as we can. And then resists. Resists are really strong on our rings. And any other stats you might need for your build. Your build might be different to mine. But I actually think 2 breach rings will beat a Ming's in the end game because they're super strong. Next part. Weapon swap. So I haven't used the weapon swap. I haven't really paid attention to it. It's obviously a new feature in POE 2. There's more videos coming out about it. Palstron has a really good one if you guys want to watch him explain it perfectly, because I'm not going into how it works. I'm just going to the fact that we can weapon swap to a bow. We can grab Impending Doom and we can grab Fated End. If you grab these 2 in a weapon swap, they just do curse stuff. They just make our curses easier to apply, faster. And then you have a weapon swap bow with like a lot of attack speed, or you could even have a Widow Hail with attack speed Quiver. If you shoot your rain of arrows with Withering Touch and you hit your Despair with these, not only are those curses juiced, but it's easier to apply. And then as soon as you throw, I'm obviously using Poison Concoction as a joke, but if you shoot your gas, it automatically swaps back to your main weapon. So you don't even have to press 2 buttons. It's really smooth. So weapon swap I would incorporate if I was going to play this build again. straight up, just incorporate a weapon swap. Lastly, defensive. So obviously we're acrobatics, and this build feels pretty fine. Like we've got, I don't know my gear on, but I think it was at 74% all evade. We had enough EHP. I think I had like 1.6 and 800. It was okay. Like I wouldn't get one hit often. And if I did get hit generally, then you're okay to recover. But if you want to go much tankier, what you can actually do is you can grab all your gear except your chest. You grab evasion and ES bases. So we're still stacking evasion for acrobatics, but we would swap to CI. We would grab Eternal Youth. And then we would grab the Flask node. Now, we've done some testing. This Flask node doesn't work like in POE 1. You can't just use your life flask if you're full on life. But for some reason, if you grab Eternal Youth and CI, you can use the life flask and it becomes energy shield regen, like a lot of regen. You can get 2k, you can get about 1,000 to 1,500 regen a second with a good flask. So if that's the case, we have a big ES pool, we have a decent life pool, we have evade all hits, and you can still get to probably 75% with good gear. But you have so much regen that if you do get hit once and you're not one hit, you'll be topped, like instantly topped. It actually also enables some of these flask nodes, which are very strong. This is a massive damage node, but we're not going to go into that right now. I just wanted to show you quickly a few things you can do if you really want to push this build further. And I actually do think this build could do a lot of damage. It's super smooth as well. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys around for the next one. Thanks.